Hey guys, welcome back. I am doing a short video today on what I am cooking for dinner. And I thought it was important to show this one because I think it's something a lot of people probably struggle with when they're growing vegetables and things that they can harvest, is what do you do when you only have like one or two things to eat from your plant? So whether you have a plant that wasn't doing well, and you only have one or two pieces of fruit or vegetable off of it, or you have things like my noodle bean plants, which are yard long beans, and I only need a couple of them really, or a few of them for a whole meal, but they're just starting to produce. So by the time I wait for a whole meal's worth of just beans, I don't want the few that are maturing right now to go to waste. So a lot of times I'll just throw random vegetables in like a dish and make like a pasta primavera type of thing. And I have plenty of things that I can throw into that. And then I'll add some sun-dried tomatoes and then some goat cheese or mozzarella, and then it's a really, really good dish. So that's what I'm doing today. I had harvested a pepper and a squash. The squash probably had another day on it, but I saw a little bit of, actually it's right here. I saw a little bit of damage on it from a worm, so I had to pick it, and then I'll just cut that off. So it's not that big, but it's ready to eat. So I have that and a pepper. I have plenty of herbs and then some beans, and then I am going to make a sauce out of goat cheese and some spinach that I have growing. So I thought I'd show you how easy that is, and like I said, what to do when you only have a few vegetables of many varieties rather than a lot of one thing. So over here is where my noodle beans are starting to mature, and I am so excited about these because it's just something new, and I think the color of them is amazing. The color, actually this one's wrapping around itself. The color is exactly like this cranberry hibiscus that I have growing right there. I'm sorry if the lighting is really bad. It is like late 3 o'clock, something like that, and it is hot. So with the noodle beans, I'm just gonna come in and snap those off and throw them in the bucket. That one looks good. See what I mean? Like, these are too small to harvest. That one's too small to harvest. And then I have a nice green one here. Oh, look at this ant. Ah. So I found out that ants love noodle bean plants. Or not ants, aphids love noodle bean plants. And whenever you have aphids, you're going to have ants. So I'll throw that in the bucket. There's a couple back here. Those aren't ready yet. There's one back there. So yeah, if you ever see a bunch of ants on your plants, you probably have aphids, and the aphids are farming, or the ants are farming the aphids because they put out like a sticky residue that the ants like, so they will help take care of them. I don't think I see any more under there. So these will be another few days to cook. I'm surprised they're not cooking out here. So this pretty little bowl. Let's see, we'll go over here. My garden is abundant with flowers and herbs and everything. I need to come out here and do a video of this part of the garden. So set that down. Alrighty, so I have another noodle bean here. So I have two different varieties. Some are green and some are the red noodle beans. So that's why some are green and some are red. They're different varieties. So that, I was just getting some aphids actually off of that bean. I don't, like I said, I don't like to kill things with spraying, especially for aphids. I find that nature does its course, but you know, sometimes I don't want to lose everything that I'm growing to aphids. That one I'll give another day. This one just started producing, so, and just like with every other plant, bean plants, this one's good. Bean plants will, oops, well, I just picked that off, so both of those are good. Bean plants will keep producing, oh shoot, a squash bug. Ah, I can't stand it. Bean plants will keep producing more and more the more you harvest. So you want to make sure that you're constantly harvesting so you get the most productivity out of your plants. Here's another good one. There's another good one. Oh, there's more on here that are ready than I thought. So that's good. So looks like beans will be a good part of this dish. And I don't see any other ones there. Man, it's hot. Ideally, I should have been out here this morning and picking these, but I didn't think of this meal until tonight. Oh, it's hot, 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 hot. So I'm gonna leave this area. Man, is it hot? I need to water my seedlings. Jeez. Let's get some rosemary. You know what? I don't have my snip, so I just throw some of the rosemary in the bowl. And then the last thing we're gonna do is go and pick some longevity spinach, and that's gonna make the base of our sauce. I made it over here to my border of longevity spinach. So this is a completely edible border of plants, mainly because it's all the same thing. But I grow this because it's super easy to grow all year long. There's a lull at the very end of winter when it gets the coldest, but I find that it really doesn't kill the plant. It just knocks it down a little bit. So I'm going to just come in here and pick quite a bit of it. I'll chop it up really fine. When it's cooked down, the texture, it can be a little bit mucusy, I guess you'd say. So it's not like the best flavor or feeling when it's cooked down, especially for people in my family don't tend to like it. But when it's mixed up in something, like a cheese, like goat cheese, which is what I'm going to be doing, it is like perfectly fine, and you can't even tell the difference, and it just gives extra nutrition to your meal. So I like to get the tender tips. They seem to be the there's a mealy bug on that one. They seem to be the best to eat and the easiest to pick off. You can just pick the whole tip off and the plant will, you know, regrow from there. Literally longevity. This will grow forever and ever. So I'm just gonna finish picking this and I'll meet you in the kitchen. So in a food processor, I have the spinach, part goat cheese, part ricotta cheese, and some garlic. And then I threw some of the fresh basil in there as well. So I'm going to let this sit in here until I have the pasta done, because I'm going to use some of the pasta water to blend it all up, and that kind of thickens up the sauce as well. Well, it'll thin it out, but make the sauce, you know, creamy from all the starch in the pasta. So I'm going to let that sit while I work on the other stuff. Okay, so I have all my veggies prepped, and I'm starting some butter and olive oil in the pan. And then I hear Aubrey coming to help me.
It's me, Aubrey.
It's her, Aubrey.
I'm gonna get close.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
Calm down.
See,
so from
this
here,
is all our veggies.
Yeah, all the veggies. Can you tell them what we have?
We have tomatoes, long yard beans, purple and green long yard beans, onions, green peppers, and
Squash.
So
I just prepped all my veggies. I'm going to start off with the onions, peppers, and garlic. And then I'm going to throw in the tomatoes and green beans and the squash. And then literally just cook it all down until it's nice and soft. I'll make my sauce, and then I will put it all together with the pasta.
So this is me stirring up some of the vegetables, and Mom, show them the vegetables.
I wanted to point out, whenever you're cutting up vegetables, especially if you have worked hard growing them in the garden, keep yourself a compost bowl and make sure you compost the scraps. This actually was an onion that was bad, so I'm composting that whole thing, but make sure you compost your food waste. It's very important.
So I'm going to put the veggies in. It's a lot, but
pay attention.
I'm going to put them in. It's heating up a little bit. I'll just mix it. Not potatoes. Tomatoes, I meant. I'm gonna go pause it.
So I finished making the sauce. It turns out to be like a mint green color, although it's not mint. It's basil and spinach mixed with goat cheese and ricotta and a little bit of garlic. And then I drizzled it on top of the noodles and the vegetables, and then topped it with some more sun-dried tomatoes and Parmesan cheese. So that is as simple as it gets, and all straight from the garden, made with, vegetables that would have really had no other dish to go in. So don't be afraid to combine them and make a delicious dinner.
Even though my dad's not here, he'll have leftovers.
Okay.
We'll save some for him.
All right, thanks for watching.
There's
Bye.
plenty for him.